Mark Robinson, end of day 2 at Arundel. How did you see the day's play?
Oh, look, ebbed and flowed a bit, didn't it, as it can do at Arundel. It's a tough place to play. It's tough for bowlers, tough for batters. It's exceptionally slow wicket, slow outfield, makes it attritional at times. I think the conditions that we found ourselves in at 11:15, the dampness in the air, the wicket had been under cover for 2 days, leaden skies, etc. Would take that, definitely. You probably took 250 really. So to get to just under 300, I mean, the yards at lunchtime, high 200s is a good score. But I think where we were at tea, and obviously to get 5 short the bonus point, leaves you with a few good regrets. But I think you've got to remember at the beginning of the day, as I say, it's a bit different to the bright sunshine. We batted most of the day in good bowling conditions.
And certainly had Sussex won the toss, would you have bowled first?
Oh, certainly you have to bowl in those conditions.
Let's talk about the innings, because there were times during that innings when Sussex almost looked like they were getting away. Certainly when Ed Joyce and Mike Yardy were batting, the runs were really rattling along just after lunch.
Yeah, look, it's a funny wicket, Arundel. You can, if you get it right, you can really dry a team up and put them under pressure. But the wrong length sits there to be hit. I mean, their young spinner, I think, struggled a little bit because it's quite merciless for that. And it was an exceptional, a little bit fortunate catch by Tim Linley. He couldn't have hit it any better, and as good a catch or luckier catch as you'll see, whichever side of the fence. But you've got to give Surrey credit as well. They came back strongly from just before tea and after tea as well, and they're a good team. We know that, as I say. So it's probably on as even at the moment.
And when you talk about the Sussex middle order, yet again, Chris Jordan coming to the party and Luke Wright again looking in terrific nick.
Yeah, the regrets of the day was some people got in and didn't go on. That's a regret. It's a 3-day game now, and that's the other thing to remember. I think in a 4-day game that can really sting you. It's a 3-day game now. One of the things you don't want in a 3-day game is to get stuck. You need the game to keep moving, to keep going forward. So you want batters to bat with intent, because you've got to try and force the pace.
And was that certainly in the minds of particularly Joyce and Yardy when the scoreboard was really rattling along, Mark, that getting runs on the ball quickly and putting a bit of pressure on Surrey?
Oh yeah, you've got to do what you think's right. So in the morning it was all about, it's a little bit dictated by how the opposition bowl. You try and have you coach and you say all the time, you need a mindset to score. You look to try and score, and when you're positive and you're looking to score, you end up leaving well. But the opposition will often dictate where they put the ball, and a couple of batters got out because they lost patience, and sometimes you have to soak in the pressure. Arundel really tests a bowler's patience and ability to repeat, and it does test the batters as well. As I say, it's an absorbing place to play, but it's a tough place to play both physically and mentally here.
And it makes it a great game to watch. So how do you see tomorrow morning panning out? Is there something in this track for the Sussex seamers?
Well, I think in a 3-day game, unless it's a really flat, dry wicket where it's going to spin, you always bowl first, because you get 2 bites at the cherry. You get your chance of bowling them out cheaply, and then you've got your chance of a declaration if that doesn't work. So our chance of winning now is to bowl these boys out cheaply. It's not a wicket you can really rock and roll them quickly, but it's one where we have to chip away, and you try and get them out for 150 if you can, and that opens the game up from that point of view. Once they get into the 200s, leaders 70s, it's quite hard work then. 2 days to go, then it's all back on, do we collapse and give Surrey a chance? If we bat well 3rd innings, it's you're into declarations and everything else.
And just looking at that, I was wondering, with Surrey where they are in the table and Sussex top, is it the sort of game with 2 days to go when you think, well, if there's a chance of a declaration and setting up a run chase, does that figure 2 days out?
Possibly. We've only had 1 day in the wicket, so you never judge a wicket till both teams are bowled on it, batted on it. And you need to see what happens to the wicket. I mean, the heavy roller's back now, so you'd have thought, as I say, the heavy roller, he's had a little spell on it tonight. That'll have killed it a bit, and it's going to have another spell of heavy roller first thing in the morning. So the danger is it takes any juice out of the wicket, moisture, and there's also a danger it gets slower and slower. Now, that can then make it very hard, one, to force the pace if you're the batting team batting last, and secondly, from a bowling point of view, forcing the issue. So you've got to assess it and see where you are on day 3. There's a lot of cricket to go. I mean, our hope is tomorrow morning they have a horror, and we bowl well and they give us a few wickets away. And obviously they bat well, their goal will be that we have a horror, and etc. So you probably need to get to day 3 and see where you are.
Final question, Mark. A whole day washed out yesterday. We finished today after 96 overs. It's a beautiful evening here at Arundel. Should something be done about the rules that allows cricket to carry on maybe a bit longer?
Yeah, look, it always feels like that when it's beautiful in this weather, where there's ability to claim an extra hour, possibly, definitely maybe an extra half an hour, when you play like this. I think if I'd have been Surrey and you had a thought of doing an extra hour in the field at Arundel, it might have killed me physically. But, you know, possibly. It's just difficult on this type of wicket to lose a day. It makes it hard work.
Wonderful. Mark, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.